How are you girls doing?
Great.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this.
How many times?
I'm doing that well.
How many times have we done this together? Like 3 times? Three? I think so. Yeah.
No, wait, 2.
Only 2?
I think 2.
Okay.
I think 2. No, maybe 3. I don't know. You guys call
2 or
it better.
3, as long as you had fun and enjoyed them.
We obviously had fun because we don't even know how many times.
We just got it. Okay, let's start with a couple questions from the fans.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Benjamin, and first of all, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being here. It's such a dream, and I think for all of us that are here. And my question was, in private practice, Grey's Anatomy too, but specifically private practice, there were a lot of like hard storylines, but also a lot of fun ones. And I wanted to know like which ones, and if you have an example, that's even better, were like the most fulfilling storylines for you guys to film and make.
I mean, first of all, I love all of the private practice fans because I feel like the full story of Amelia isn't really fully understood unless you have gone on the private practice journey. You really have to see both to understand. And Charlotte is a huge part of Amelia's journey. I mean, obviously all of our addiction stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember which order things happened in. But we were such supports for each other, I think, in some of the biggest stories that either of us played.
Yeah.
The fun stuff, I think, was always the kitchen, when all of us were together around the counter. But we never got anything done, and the crew would be furious with us by the end of the day, because we'd be laughing and telling jokes and not working. But yeah, I think probably, for me, it would be the intervention storyline. And then,
oh my God! I mean, I love that storyline. I was actually talking about it with Nico yesterday. We were discussing how powerful Caterina is, and how shocking it is when you feel the wrath of her actual physical power, in which I've talked about. Oh my God! No, it was so intense because you were by the elevator. That's what I remember.
I hit you.
There are
I pushed you.
It happens. But yeah,
we have insurance.
Right. Maybe I grabbed your arm or something. You threw my arm off. There was something that happened. I just remember thinking, shoot. Like I was just, and I don't know why I was surprised, but she was so full.
But you did give me permission because I was like, oh my God. And you were like, no, come on.
No, yeah.
Bring it.
Listen, when somebody's as committed as Caterina, you do not get in their way. You stand in the way of nothing because it was truthful. I mean, she, again, with the acting question, there's a term called truthfully doing. And I will say this, and I'm not waxing her car, though, I mean, it's true. When someone commits that much, you get out of their way and you just enjoy what is happening with you and in front of you. And it's funny because there are some actors, like, you're so in the scene and so in the work, but occasionally, just as you do as the audience, you're across from the person and you just think, you know, and that's such a delicious feeling because it's ephemeral. I mean, you do however many takes, however many hours, but what ends up on the screen could go any number of ways if you're doing a scene with her, because it was so alive, is a term people use. And I think, you know, obviously I had some really remarkable asks as an actor. The assault and the recovery was tremendous for me, and frankly, having to be pregnant and portray that, her being actually pregnant and being around that and remembering when the baby was born in real time, all that stuff was just wild to look back on. I almost can't pick a favorite, you know, or like a significant, because I was blessed with an embarrassment of riches of just great story after story after story. Even if I came in for 1 or 2 lines in a scene or whatever, like I think you were in the scene when I was in Trendelenburg, when I was on bed rest. I feel like you and Kate and Amy were all around me, and I think I'd thrown pencils at the ceiling. And I just remember standing there with this enormous belly, deeply uncomfortable because of the angle. But I was looking up at their three faces, and we were laughing so hard. So those are like the things that you may not have necessarily always seen on screen, but they were always just, I mean, if I see stuff now, I can tell you, I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, we just done the table read and we had that laugh, and you know what I mean? Like, it's funny what you lock in, but it's easy to do with this.
Elle dit de son côté, franchement, elle adore les fans de Private Practice, d'accord? Ils sont vraiment incroyables. Elle trouve même que les gens ne peuvent pas comprendre son personnage sans avoir regardé Private Practice aussi. Là, tu auras la vision totale de Tata Amelia, ok? Mais, on va dire, pour la storyline la plus difficile, c'était tout ce qui était autour de l'addiction. On va pas se mentir, c'était vraiment pas facile, mais c'était aussi quelque chose qu'elle a adoré faire. Pour tout ce qui est fun et tout, mais genre la totale, parce qu'à chaque fois ils rient lorsqu'ils étaient tous ensemble. Tous ensemble. Certes, ils n'en fait pas de ouf parce qu'ils étaient tous ensemble, mais ça rigolait au moins, et c'était vraiment des moments où il y avait la connexion avec tout le cast. Elle adorait. Sinon, s'il devait choisir une storyline, intervention. On a KaDee de son côté qui dit comme quoi, genre, elle disait avec Nico hier, comme quoi elle avait énormément d'amour pour Caterina, mais aussi le fait qu'il trouvait qu'elle était genre hyper forte, tant à l'intérieur, mais tant à l'extérieur. Ok, elle était même choquée de ça parce qu'ils avaient une scène où apparemment, genre, Caterina lui dit, je t'ai frappé. Je t'ai frappé. Pourquoi? Parce qu'elle lui chope genre le bras comme ça, tu sais, elle lui fait genre en mode laisse-moi tranquille. Elle était là en mode wow, ok, la dame elle a des bras en fait. C'est chaud. Sauf que lorsque tu vois une actrice, c'est qui est à fond, le focus il est là, et elle y va, tu vas pas te mettre devant elle, c'est à l'inverse, tu vas te mettre dans l'autre sens et tu vas la regarder en mode waouh, regarde ce que cette personne est en train de faire comme performance, c'est pas juste incroyable, et bien oui ça l'est, c'est juste ouf, il y a même, surtout que ces moments-là sont éphémères, et avec Caterina tu sais jamais genre dans quel sens une scène va aller, tellement genre elle est imprévisible, mais dans le bon sens, où elle va t'emmener dans un truc et tu la suis, et c'est genre plein d'émotions. Incroyable. Sinon, en termes de storyline, c'était le fait que de devoir, on va dire, être enceinte, alors que Caterina, à côté, elle était vraiment enceinte et tout, c'était genre tout un truc. C'est ça pour elle qui était vraiment genre important. Et elle se rappelle lorsqu'ils étaient dans Trindlebury, right, Trindlebury, ok. Et t'avais du coup Caterina, Kate et Amy, tu vois, autour, elle qui était comme ça en train de regarder le plafond, elle balançait un truc vers le plafond au calme, elle voit leur petite tête arriver, c'était vraiment aussi des moments qui sont genre incroyables. Voilà.
Hi. Hi. Okay, my name's Maya, and I have a question. Oh my gosh. Sure. Okay, let me just have a moment. So some of us maybe here have like a dream to start acting. Do you have maybe like any tips who want to, have a dream? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's so individual, the journey, and when it's in you, you can't stop it. So trust it and don't question it. I also think it's really important to learn and stand on the shoulders of giants and figure out what turns you on and whose work you connect with and learn about them. I think that for me, when I was quite young, was probably the first hook into this world that I had. I was so curious about people that I respected and admired, and I learned what their process was. And then I started doing plays, and that was it. After that, there was no turning back. So I recommend starting out in the theater personally, because you learn to work in concert with the people that build the stage, you build the stage, you take care of your own wardrobe, you learn good habits. And I'll just, as a sidebar, to anyone who wants to be an actor, always hang up your wardrobe. Do not leave a mess for other people. It's not good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I think I would say, because all of that is true, and then to add, I would say, remember that nothing is wasted. Nothing that you've experienced in your life, including the tragedies and the challenges and the highs and the lows and the losses, and the joys, nothing is wasted. And, you know, there's the craft of acting, and a lot of people think of the way you build a character or you build a story and generate a story, but I think it works the other way as well, where a lot of the skill that you develop over time, over many years, is the ability to take away anything other than the truth, right?
Yeah.
And so it's subtracting what's false almost more than adding anything. And so the more you do your internal work and the more you travel in the world and meet people, the more wisdom you encounter, the more there is to reveal, you know?
And really quickly, on the heels of that, I think the most beautiful part of it to me is the connection. And to leave yourself alone and just be in the connection. You guys have seen us do it. It's like dancing with this gal is the best. And when you have that connection with a person and you are unafraid to be vulnerable and you know you're safe with them, the best.
Thank you so much.
Ok, du coup, la question était si vous avez des conseils d'acting pour qu'elle puisse réaliser son rêve de la gentille dame. Et on a KaDee qui commence à dire comme quoi, genre, le chemin de chacun est propre à chacun toujours. On va pas se mentir, d'accord? Et il faut voir aussi avec qui tu vas leur connecter en termes du coup d'acting, parce que tu vas pas vouloir être comme monsieur tout le monde, ce n'est pas ce qui est recherché. Il faut essayer de trouver qui a ce que vraiment, là où tu vas aller, tu vois. T'as envie d'aller quelque part, il y a cette personne qui t'inspire et tout, c'est très important d'apprendre. Il faut apprendre, il faut pas se reposer sur ses lauriers en mode non mais je sais tout, il faut apprendre, il faut rencontrer des gens, il faut voir avec qui du coup il y a cette connexion-là. Il faut aussi être curieux des personnes qu'on admire, comme ce qu'on fait là, tu vois, ça c'est une très bonne question parce qu'il y a de la curiosité derrière de savoir comment ils font les choses, c'est quoi on va dire leur process, etc. etc. Ça c'est super beau, donc gardez la curiosité. Et ce qu'elle conseille aussi, c'est de commencer du théâtre. Parce que tu apprends énormément à partir du théâtre, d'accord? Comment genre tu vas gérer la scène, tu vas travailler avec les gens même qui vont construire la scène, c'est toi qui t'occupes de tes propres habits, d'accord? Et un autre conseil, c'est ranger toujours vos habits si vous faites du théâtre, laissez pas les autres le faire pour vous, ok? Ça c'est méga conseil. Très bien. Ensuite, on a, oui, Caterina qui dit de son côté, alors, n'importe quelle expérience, tout ce qui se passe, c'est pas jeté par la fenêtre. D'accord? Que ce soit vraiment des tragédies, des challenges, les moments sympas aussi, n'importe quoi, on apprend, on évolue en tant que personne. Donc il faut vraiment garder ça en tête. Et à chaque fois, les gens vont aller dans le sens où oui, non, faut que j'apprenne l'art de l'acting et tout, et c'est dans ce sens-là, mais il faut aussi prendre le problème dans l'autre sens. C'est que tu vas retirer tout ce qui est faux, d'accord? Pour garder en fin de compte l'essence qui est du coup la vérité. Donc tu retires ça c'est faux, c'est vraiment super. Ça va pas être là, allez bisous, au revoir, et là tu gardes ce qu'il faut. KaDee qui rajoute de son côté que le truc le plus beau que tu peux avoir en plus lorsque tu fais de l'acting, c'est la connexion avec les autres. Comme par exemple, c'est pas incroyable pour elle de danser avec Caterina, elle danse, mais où elle y va. Cependant, et même, elle se sent en sécurité, ce qui fait qu'elle peut être vulnérable. Et ça c'est important. Surtout lorsque tu as des partenaires avec qui tu vas faire beaucoup de scènes et tout. C'est super important et c'est beau. Voilà. Well, what a pleasure it was. It was quick, easy, but we loved it. We cackled, we laughed, as always. I know. Time flies when we're having fun, right? Well, thank you. Pour les applaudissements. Thank you for coming.